I'm Tara, and I currently live in Ogden, Utah. I'm originally from Greenville, South Carolina, and I only have an accent if I'm really tired or if I get mad, so just keep that in mind. I'm a mom and have 2 awesome boys and a wonderful husband, and I love the mountains. I love running, and I've been running for years. Just got into trail running, gosh, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it's just been fantastic. So what have I done in the past? Well, I'm a little retired at this moment as a stay-at-home mom, but in the past I've done organizational development, project management, where I've done more writing and textbook editing and being involved with training and training trainers and managing different programs of that nature, from various projects from working at Snowbird to the Olympics to a trucking company to a mattress company called Tempur-Pedic. But my passion is teaching and sharing, and I've been able to do that through running now. When did I get involved with running? Gosh, I think I would take it much farther back. When I was super young, I was involved with swimming, and I swam competitively from the age of 8 to over 17, 18, and intermingled with different seasons. I played basketball and, softball, soccer, and then I started running to kind of stay in shape for all of those other sports that I loved, and I found out that I could run, and that was kind of fascinating. I didn't really know what to do, and I actually fell a lot at some of my early cross-country meets, but I really enjoyed that. And I came out west from South Carolina to potentially play basketball. And when that fell through, I took to running as my source of exercise and of, I guess, sanity. So that's always been a part of what I've done. And I've never ran a marathon before. I've dabbled in some road half marathons and things like that, but just for fun and just to stay fit. What injuries have I had and how they impacted my running? Well, let me tell you. It's been a doozy of a summer. I'll get to that one. And last year I had a fun one. But typically I knock on rocks, I haven't had a lot of injuries, I guess you'd say, like hamstring strains or tendonitis or all those strange things that kind of come up when you're doing a lot of miles. I'm grateful for that. I took a spill last spring around February where I actually opened up my knee and had to have 18 stitches, 2 different layers, and that healed phenomenally. I don't know how it missed my PCL, but it did. And that was great, but that was just kind of just a random injury. That was all right. I just hiked around a lot, let that heal up, and drove my husband crazy. And then this year, a lot of you know about how I fractured my femur. It was just right up here on these trails. I just took a tumble one day, not even going very fast, just popped over and hit my knee as it was bent and fractured the very tip of the condyle on my femur. And boom, 6 weeks, I was out. And it was really hard. I still have calluses on my hands from the crutches, and made for a really long summer, but that seemed to heal up pretty quickly, and I'm super happy about that. And now I'm just working on building up my strength from just, my legs have just atrophied, and just trying to get back in shape from that. How's it affected my running? I don't know. I think it's given me a little more drive and incentive. Like the time I spend out, I want to make sure I'm using it wisely and building and strengthening. And the other activities I do to supplement my running, I try to make sure I'm on task when I do that too. As a mom and other responsibilities, you only have the time you have, and so you try to make the best use of it. And now that I'm back and rolling, I'm just trying to cram it all in before try to get in one more race this year. Cross training. Gosh, that's a loaded question. These are all my secrets, so I don't know if I want to give them all away, but no, I don't have a lot of secrets. Cross training, I should probably do more. I'm just really lazy at heart, and I'm never going to be the one on the podium, so I guess that's kind of my excuse for being lazy. I just love running, and so I put my main focus on that. But what I've kind of interjected in the last year or two is a lot of biking. I take some bike classes at the local gym, and that's just been a phenomenal cardiovascular strengthening for me. It's been fantastic as an alternative, maybe to speed work. Instead of on a track, I'll go do an hour or so of speed work on the bike, and besides that, just the strength, the core strength that's been building has been recognizable, I think, in processing that into my running. And also just a little bit of yoga here and there, as all runners seem to do a little bit more of that. Gosh, that's a hard thing to mix, but it definitely helps a lot. Is there anything about mountain running that I wish I would have known when I just started out? I think the slower you go, the longer you can run. And that's been something I've been trying to incorporate, not just in coming back from an injury, but just in my training. You want to run long miles, then you've got to go slow. And I found that not only can you have an effective time running in more miles, is that you can actually increase your speed and endurance even by running slow. And it's taken me a while to grasp that and to practice that, but that's what I'm working on right now. So my advice for new runners: first, like I mentioned, slow down so you can run when you're in your 50s and 60s and 70s. Just slow down and have fun. Also, bring along your camera and slow down enough so you can take pictures and make memories and make it more about the adventure instead of the run. So it's not an obligation, but it's actually fun personal time. And maybe lastly, make sure you get a good group of people around you that can support you and kind of uplift you as you're setting goals and getting out there, whether it's even on your own sometimes or with this group. What do I eat before a big race? If I have the option, depending on where I'm at, the night before, I love a big filet, little blue cheese, loaded baked potato, maybe a salad, and that usually does it for me. That's good fuel for the next day. And then what do I eat for breakfast? Gosh, I don't know. These are kind of personal questions, but I'm a Southern girl, so I love grits, and I really like grits, and I have grits with avocado and usually a hard-boiled egg, and that's plenty of food to get me like on a long, maybe 100-miler or whatever. That'll get me 20 or 30 miles in without needing much fuel other than that. And now I'm hungry. What do I do when I'm not on the mountain? Well, I think about being on the mountain, and I plan what I'm going to be doing on the mountain the other days. And so what am I doing when I'm not doing that? I'm eating. No, or I'm pretty much just a mom, just chase my kids around. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I have a 17-year-old stepson, and they just keep me busy. They get into everything, and they're quick, and they're clever, and I think that's just all genetic. And I just chase them around, get them to where they need to go. They're busy, and now that school's back in, we're just doing school stuff and errands. Yeah, just regular, normal people things. I like to snowboard, anxious to get back into that. I had some Achilles issues last year, which sidelined me from that. I'm excited for the snow to fall and to jump back into that. I like to cook. I'm a pretty decent cook, like to cook a lot, which supports the running habit. I guess that's pretty good. Other things, I have enjoyed road biking different periods of my life, and so that's something that's always available. I like to do. I like being active. Like being active and out and doing things, and yeah, I guess that's about it. My favorite trail here locally would have to be Lewis Peak. I really like the diversity in the terrain with that, where it's a little bit of a grind for running or hiking the first little bit. Then you've got your ridgeline running, kind of some ups and downs, and just views for days. I could run that every day. It was a little bit closer to where I live, but just love that. But overall, in general, of the places I have gone running and holds a really special place to my heart is the Kalalau Trail in Kauai. I used to live in Kauai before I got married and didn't do any running over there except on the roads. But as we've gone back as a family for the past several years, I've really gotten involved with running over there, and especially on the Kalalau Trail. And I think for me, it's the solitude and the diversity in the terrain. And it's, I think, just the danger factor too is a turn on. I really love being over there, and you're on the outskirts of the entire island, the most western rim of the entire United States, and you can literally run for miles and just see the ocean and see nothing else out there. And it's probably the most prolific experiences I've had running on that trail. Even just thinking about now, it just kind of gets me choked up, and I just yearn for that. The last couple of times we've been over there, I haven't been able to run that, and I'm looking forward to running that in November and hoping to set some goals and get some new times on there, and just totally looking forward to it. If it doesn't flood and wash me away, that's always a fear factor for sure. My next race is the Bear 100, and oh my gosh, that's in 4.5 weeks. I can't even believe it. I don't even remember where the summer's gone. But I know what I haven't been doing this summer a lot, and that's running. So I'm trying to cram as much as I can in right now, safely and slowly, and getting myself as ready as I can be. This race is super special to me. It's one that I've either been helping out with my husband or actually running for the last many, many years. And gosh, the last 2 years I ran it and finished it. It hasn't really been under fantastic conditions, or I can't say that I finished feeling super satisfied. And I remember last year, I think it took 2 days before I signed up for it again for this year. Granted, this year has been a little different, but I think going into this race, the most important thing that I'm focused in on is finishing, but finishing with a different perspective this year than trying to compete and maybe set unreasonable goals for myself or whatnot, but just finishing strongly and having a really enjoyable time. The weather, we've already checked ahead, is supposed to be beautiful, supposed to be in the 60s, and can't wait for that. I can't imagine again running through the mud and the snow and the sleet in Cache Valley. So I'm excited for just a super experience, and just to kind of get the monkey off my back with that race. It's just something that, having gone to school up there in Logan and living there for a while, it's just a kind of a hometown race, and I can't wait. It's just coming up way too quick. Hopefully time will slow down just a little bit as I keep preparing for it.